a pleasant Saturday, and welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. 12-race card tonight. 4 trials for the Texas Classic Derby. That's a Grade 1 race. 3 trials for the Purina Feeds Texas Classic Oaks. Splitting up the males and females there. The Oaks for 3-year-old fillies. The Derby, theoretically a filly could run in that if they wanted to, but mostly males in that one. 83 degrees here in Grand Prairie. Track is fast. More beautiful weather. Alongside Rodney Nelson, I'm Jim Byers. Last night we were just awash in top picks. The favorites won the first 10 trials last night. Last 2 races mixed it up a little bit. Of course, we both picked against Machiavelli in the 11th. Nonetheless, those things happen on trial nights, but what doesn't usually happen is a run of great performances, perfect starts for all of those heavy favorites that won, from Aguila Rapida in the very first race all the way up toward Machiavelli, who was like 6-5, even though he technically wasn't the favorite. Until that last race, when we had some bumping and jostling and whatnot, very well-run races.
Yeah, very good races last night. We saw a 15-year-old track record fall last night. So FDD Dreams, now the track record holder at 400 yards, taking the title over from Tempting Dash, who had held that title since 2009. So it was nice to see a track record. Qualifiers from pretty much top to bottom, from race 1 to toward the end. It was a great night of racing. Hopefully we can have another one tonight. You said 12 races tonight, 2 sets of trials. It's going to be a fun way to wrap up the week, no doubt about it.
Let's get right on to our analysis. We have a lot to talk about, and a limited but still generous amount of time to talk about it. So let's go on to the first. We do have some overnight or regular races mixed in with the trials. Race 1, I wrestled with this one pretty hard. 400 yards, $5,000 claiming 3-year-olds and up. These are non-winners of 2, and that's significant because you got a lot of horses that are like career non-winners of 2 in here. Scratch the 1, Miss Chicks for cash.
Yeah, I got one of those career non-winners of 2 at number 3, Tip of the Iceberg. You can look back, I've got 12 lines of PPs in here for Tip of the Iceberg. Haven't seen a win in any of those.
I will say, though, that his one win was last year sometime. I don't see it either.
I mean, he did have 11 starts so far this year.
True, and he had 11 last year and did get a win. So he's 1 for 29. But the win did come at least in the lifetimes of most, if not all, of our fans.
So what I'm looking at is that race 2 starts back. This horse was in for the $10,000 tag right here at Lone Star Park. Ran a good third that day. Some of these other races, bigger races than this $5,000, I think dropping down here at the bottom here of our claiming ranks, I think could set up well for Tip of the Iceberg. Give me this horse on top. Number 4, Talk to My Lips, 15-1 Morning Line is going to be my second choice. This horse was a second-place finisher, 2 starts back, missed by half a length. Broke its maiden earlier this year at Sam Houston, going 350 yards at the $5,000 level. We'll see what happens with Talk to My Lips, but this horse could get up at a decent price. And then I got number 2, RM Lethal Cartel, coming in here fresh off a win. I love horses that come in here off a win. See if this horse can't have another good run tonight.
For him, the 17th time was the charm because he looks like a lifetime non-2 at 1 for 17. But he broke his maiden last time, as you mentioned, so he was 0 for 16 heading into that race. He was a lifetime maiden, but he comes in off a win, and that's about as good a credential in this wide-open race as you can have. I took I Am a Diamond, starting from the outside. Good to see Noe Villatoro back up and riding in the very first race after he was unseated in the 12th race last night when his horse clipped heels. Great to see Noe back in action here today. And, this horse makes a little drop from 10,000 non-2 down to 5,000 non-2. He did break his maiden back in August. He was a long shot in those $10,000 races, or she was. I think she can handle the 400 yards. She hasn't navigated it successfully in those last 2 races, but the competition was much harder. On to the second race, 250 yards. Scratch the 5, SR Impact. Also scratch the 2 also eligibles, numbers 11 and 12. These are 2-year-olds in for $5,000.
Yeah, so I'm on number 3. The big reason for taking this number 3, 10 Bears here, is taking a sharp drop in class. There's no doubt about it. See, the very first race, this horse was in a maiden race, followed that up with a futurity trial, was in for $25,000 last time, in for $5 tonight. So The competition's got to be a lot easier than those last few races. Give me 10 Bears on top. I got number 6, Australia Haricha. This horse is going to be my second pick. Was a solid runner last time out. Finished second in a 250-yard race. Just missed by a length in that one. And then I've got the 4 Golden Boy I'm going to say RL.
Those are usually RLs.
Yes. Yeah. I remember all the paints that are WLs.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and they always look like capital I's in the
book. Yeah. Golden Boy RL. That's going to be my second choice. My third choice. Third start for this gelding. Last time went 250 yards. Ran a respectable third, beaten by 3/4 of a length. If you looked at this in the comments, this horse was bumped last time out. So let's see if Golden Boy RL can have a little bit better run today. I got this horse getting up to hit the board.
Yeah, this is kind of a grab bag. I took 10 Bears also. I guess you don't harbor as much dislike for the name Bears as you do Eagles because you didn't want to pick
Eagles
an Eagle
up.
horse.
Eagles up. Isn't that what the Eagles fans say?
I think it is.
That's a
It's
toss.
kind of like their
but,
slogan.
Some of the other ones, like I'm a relentless Eagle and stuff. I got to respect those horses.
Exactly.
No doubt.
It's more the slogan.
Yeah.
Like if
Eagles
somebody
up,
said
no
skull or
it's
whatever.
Like they do the horns up, and
right.
People have been doing the horns down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Horns down's big
Eagles
up
down.
in Oklahoma. Yeah. But anyway, 10 Bears. Yeah. I mean, I took him to a long shot against considerably better. He didn't do much running in any of those races, but you got to figure the drop's going to help. Golden Boy RL, I did take him second. He's been bumped in both starts. He could get better here. One Cool Coronita, who's Rick Lee's long shot pick of the day. The trainer is a newcomer to training. He only has one start in his career. This horse used to be with Jose Soto. Now he's with Jesus Jose Grado. One Cool Coronita could do a little better on the drop, coming back off the bench. On to race 3. We're going to stretch him out to 550 yards here in the third. These are non-winners of 2 races other than maiden claiming starter, trial, optional, or Texas bred allowance. They've added more other thans on the end of this.
I saw the optional on there today. I was like, well, that's a new one right there.
That's a lot. Or non-winners of 3 lifetime, and you could be in for $15,000 as well.
Yeah, so I'm taking one of those horses that fits the optional part. That's going to be number 3, Thrill and Fury. 8-1 on the line for Thrill and Fury, and I think this horse has a pretty good shot here in race number 3. What I like is that this horse was in an optional claiming last time out. That was a non-winners of 3 optional claiming. This is non-winners of 2 other than. Won that race by a head, right? So got up for the win in that one. Guess what? That was at 550 yards.
Yeah.
If you look 3 starts back, this horse went in a non-winners of 2 allowance race at 550 yards, won that race by a length and a quarter. So the only 2 times this horse has been 550 have been within the last 3 starts and won both of those 550 races. So give me this horse at some decent odds right here. That's Thrill and Fury as my top choice here in race number 3. Runaway Wildfire, the 6, that's going to be my second choice. This horse was in an open allowance last time out. Ran 4th in that race, only missed by 3/4 of a length. Lunged at the break is what the comment says. So hopefully this horse can get out a little bit better tonight. But a quick horse can run some good races. I mean, we see this horse was in the Evangeline Derby at the end of last year. Runaway Wildfire could be one to watch, but give me 8-1 on Thrill and Fury here in race number 3.
Yeah, I think he might be fortunate to get 8-1 there based on the fact that he loves this distance, and this is kind of a specialized distance. And it's not like he was beating, horses in for 5,000. Right. He was beating this level or better in doing it. I've got him picked second as well. I couldn't get past the fact that Runaway Wildfire last time ran a really respectable 3/4 of a length behind a Trace of Eagle, who's a Grade 1 winner and is really good. And Uncle Ed's Idea, who was in that race and who won the race that Runaway Wildfire was in 2 races back, is also a super good hard-knocking veteran. If you go back to last year, this horse was in, you mentioned the Evangeline Derby, but he was in races around here against horses like Chasing AJ and horses like that. So I couldn't get past that. So I'm going to take a Runaway Wildfire. He does stretch out for the first time beyond 440, but he does show a 440 win, so hopefully he can get that extra 110 yards. On to the 4th. You got 3. Now, this is the first of our Purina Feeds Texas Classic Oaks trials. These are 400 yards. This is trial 1 of 3. You got 3 big earners in this one. Especially Good Candy's made almost $700,000. Deep Blue's made $370 plus. Flying Sophia's made almost $320. That's big. This big earnings. These are really nice fillies.
Yeah, really nice fillies here, and one of them that I really love is Especially Good Candy. You know, this horse we've seen out at Lone Star Park 3 different times so far, and is finishing the exacta in all 3 of those starts, has 1 win to go along with it. This horse qualified for the Texas Classic Futurity last year, ran a good second to Dark Enemy, went on to win its next race. You know, that took some time off, but won that trial race for the All-American Oaks, got into All-American Oaks, won that race as well. So Especially Good Candy, after taking some time off, has had 2 starts this year, right back to pretty much where she left off. Give me Especially Good Candy on top here. Flying Sophia, that's going to be my second choice here. I see you have the horse on top, so I'll let you talk about Flying Sophia.
Well, I think these two fillies are virtually inseparable. I mean, Especially Good Candy beat her a half length last time out. Flying Sophia was third, a nose back of second, and a half length back of Especially Good Candy. Especially Good Candy runs hard every time. 3 wins, 5 seconds in 9 career starts. Monstrous earnings. Second in the Remington Park Oklahoma Bred Futurity last year. Second in our Texas Classic Futurity last year. The reason I took Flying Sophia is, well, twofold. I like the fact she has a really quick work on the comeback trail, and Especially Good Candy has not worked since that All-American Oaks triumph. Plus, Michael Joyner's barn's been a little bit hotter than Trey Wood's barn. Both very good barns. Many Grade 1 wins between the two of them. But Joyner's barn's been firing a little bit better this meet. So, and I think Flying Sophia might be a hair faster early than Especially Good Candy, although there's nothing slow about Especially Good Candy out of there either. So, to me, it was kind of a coin flip, and I took those two. We both have Deep Blue third. John Steinbow, Heritage Place Oaks winner. I mean, you know, what's not to like about her? I mean, she did run a bit up the track in a All-American Oaks trial, but still.
Yeah, you forgive that, right?
You know, if you can overlook that, which would be easy to do, I mean, everybody has an off day, you know, she could be really tough in here, too. Those 3 are really, really good.
Yeah, I thought some of these trials drew up very good competitive races with some good horses today.
Let's move on to the 5th. That's another Texas Classic Oaks trial. We've got a pretty good star in this one. Asher didn't load very willingly last time in the Dash for Cash Derby, but boy, did she ever come on and run hard and dead heat with her stable mate, and she gets to come back. I'm wheeling her right back.
Yeah, so the good thing about the fun thing about this is, see, Dash for Cash winner Asher going in this race, right, for the fillies. And then later on tonight, we see Relentless Eagle going
the
in
other
the trials for the Texas Classic.
Heat.
So,
yeah.
Not bad at all there.
I picked them both, too, right
I got them both on top as well. But Asher, you know, this horse did have a good run last time out in the Dash for Cash Derby. In the trial race before that, you know, it was just a neck off the win there to Yeager. We'll see Yeager later on this evening as well. I mean, this horse has had some good races. Was in the Rainbow Oaks earlier this year, was the runner up there. You know, the Los Al Oaks as well was a winner there. So, I mean, this horse definitely has some good wins to her resume, no doubt about it. Give me Asher on top here. I got number 5, Alley Cat Dynasty, as my second choice. I mean, this horse was a 4th-place finisher in the Heritage Place Oaks 2 starts back, but was only beaten by half a length in that one, so not bad at all there. This horse performed very well up at Remington Park earlier this year. Picked up a stakes win back in March up there. That was the first start for Alley Cat Dynasty of the year. I think this horse is a pretty good one here. And then I got number 9, Famous Tools, 10-1 for John Steinbow as my third choice. I mean, this horse was a second-place finisher last time out, a winner before that. Both of those races coming right here at Lone Star Park this meet. So I like how the horse has been moving over the track. I also like the outside post draw. Seems to be a nice spot to be on the racetrack. Got it 159 here.
Famous Tools, I mention this every time because I took her third also, is from the mare No Tools Required, who produced Firing Tools, who a few years ago was super fast out here and was really a nice racehorse, him or herself. I don't remember if it was a filly or a male, but Famous Tools kind of keeping in that tradition. Alley Cat Dynasty, our second pick, at one point reeled off 7 straight wins last year and into this year. before finding the competition in the RP Oaks a little tough and the Heritage Place Oaks, she ran a super good race and then ran a really nice race at Will Rogers. I called that race back on September 17th. That was a bit of a comeback race and, got bumped, ran hard. The winner was a fluke $88 win payoff that day. So she had a good comeback race. Asher's a $350,000 yearling once upon a time. Her dam Astica produced one of my favorite names of all time, Kiss My Astica. That's how they pronounced it. And Kiss My Astica was a really nice filly, too. So Asher is starting to live up. Well, I mean, she already had. She was a multiple Los Al Stakes winner. But when she's on her game, she probably could, she could contend in the Texas Classic Derby since she dead heated in the Dash for Cash Derby. On to the 6th, our final Purina Feeds Texas Classic Oaks trial. This has an interesting group as well, maybe a little bit more wide open. We still, though, are both on the same runner in KJ Flying Cowgirl.
Yeah, I mean, this horse ran well in the All-American Oaks last time out. Finished fifth, but you know what? It was only beaten by 3/4 of a length. Especially Good Candy, the horse I was talking about earlier, won that race. I mean, looking back to last year, this horse was in the Rainbow Juvenile, All-American Juvenile as well. Has a bunch of seconds this year, no doubt about it. 3 out of 4 races, this horse has finished second. I'm hoping that this is a little bit easier spot than those last couple trials for KJ Flying Cowgirl, but I think that she can get up for the win here. Number 1, AJ Precious Jewel. That's going to be my second choice. Horse has been in some decent races, too. Qualified for the Ruidoso Derby. There was in the Rainbow Oaks as well. 3rd place finisher there. Had a win mixed in between those 2 stakes races. Last time out wasn't the best. The horse got shut off, impeded. So let's toss a line through that one, that All-American trial, and see if this horse is ready to get back today. But AJ Precious Jewel, owned by La Feliz Montana Rant. We saw them with some winners last night, including that track record over FDD Dreams. They always have own some very good horses. We'll see what AJ Precious Jewel can do tonight. I got it 6-1 here for the Exacta.
It was a profitable night for those connections last night. AJ Precious Jewel's another one of those. You could throw out that All-American trial, as you mentioned, shut off, had no chance. Otherwise, though, really likes trials. She's one of those that comes out firing in trials. She had won 3 straight trials prior to that, and really good ones, too. But, yeah, I mean, KJ Flying Cowgirl, I'm going to strike while the iron's hot with her. Another one to keep in mind is the 2 Forgotten. That's our 3rd pick. California bred. The Dunn Ranch Jed Vane horses almost unanimously have been firing hard and frequently running above their odds. So look out for Forgotten, especially if the inside appears to be good tonight. On to the 7th. Now we're back into a maiden race for one race before the Derby trials start. 440 yards. Always interesting to see 2-year-olds go 440. It's what they do in the All-American Futurity, but otherwise you don't see a lot of 440 races for 2-year-olds until later in the year.
Yeah, I'm on the horse on the outside, number 9, SS Kratos. I picked this horse the last time out, ran 5th on me, was only beaten by 3/4 of a length, hopped when they were coming out of the gate, so didn't have the best start. I think if this horse can start like he's supposed to, we'll see this one get his picture taken in the winner's circle. Number 7, Trace Wines, that's going to be my second choice here, was a 2nd-place finisher last time out, just missed by a head. Before that, in the Futurity trial at Retama Park, finished 4th in that one, but was beaten by Machiavelli, who we saw was a winner in a qualifier last night.
A very good one, too. I mean,
he looked good.
He is a that Machiavelli, he is. I think he's won 5 out of 8 now.
I was looking at him in the paddock. He doesn't look like a super racehorse.
No,
it looks lean and everything to me compared to some of these quarter. But I'll tell you what,
he can really run.
There's no doubt about it.
The final of that Futurity is really going to be fascinating because every trial winner and even some of the ones that qualified that didn't win looked superb in action last night.
Right. I mean, it was we already talked about it being a great night, but 9-7, that's how I got it here in race 7.
I'm going to take a swing here with a horse coming off the bench, number 5, Into Celebrating. I think it's interesting, and it's not why I picked them, but I love to talk about breeding. Into Celebrating is a very rare quarter horse who's by Into Mischief, the fantastic thoroughbred sire and former very, very good thoroughbred runner. I'm kind of curious how that came about that they were able to get Into Mischief in this horse's pedigree. But this horse totally overmatched in his first 3 outings. The first one was against Maidens, but he was 20-1. It was early in the year at Remington, and then he was overmatched in trials. Hopefully in this spot he can run better. The second pick, I'm going to try to beat SS Kratos. This horse had a race, and it was a pretty good one. A little bit of trouble and ran a pretty good, very competitive fifth. He's by Imperial Hint, the multiple Grade 1 thoroughbred sprint winner, who they called the Little Rocket, because he was just a little wee thing that won a couple of Grade 1s at Saratoga. And he's an Ontario bred. Other than at Ajax Downs, you don't see a lot of Ontario bred quarter horses. See a lot of them up there, but not too many of them make their way down here. Thoroughbreds, yeah, we see some
we see quite a few of those.
Some former, turf horses that raced elsewhere that come here. You don't see a lot of Ontario bred shortliners down here. Eighth race. Now we're on to the Derby trials. This one, Toby Keaton has what a friend of mine in L.A. called kegs of dynamite. He said quarter horse racing's like 10 kegs of dynamite. 440 for these trials. The Toby Keaton kegs of dynamite are San Lencho and Flying Rabbit, or Flying Rabbit 1, 2, 3. And you didn't even pick it.
I didn't even
pick it. You picked a Juan Diaz keg of dynamite.
Yeah, Toby Keaton has kegs of dynamite. Juan Diaz has like a truckload of dynamite.
Yeah, he does.
But I'm taking Fire Cowboy here. This horse was the winner of the Sam Houston Derby, won that race by a length and a half over Jaeger. Not a bad horse there. This horse won the Evangeline Downs Futurity last year, the Juvenile Challenge Championship last year, which is right here at Lone Star Park. The only real knock for this horse recently is that Retama Derby, but bobbled in that race, so didn't have the best start, but Fire Cowboy, I think this horse can fly. I'm taking this horse on top. Flying Rabbit 1, 2, 3, that's my second choice. I mean, this horse was a runner-up in the All-American Invitational, won the Riadosa Invitational, had some good trial races for both of those. It's hard to pick against Flying Rabbit 1, 2, 3, or San Lencho, who you have as my third pick and you have on top here.
I took him because I thought it was a brilliant move by Toby Keaton to put him in that 110-yard
race. It's like
race.
A workout, right?
Exactly.
Get paid for a workout.
It's a glorified work, a gate work no less, where he gets to come to the paddock, familiarize himself with the local lights and the video board and the whole routine. He had been off since July, not a real long layoff, and he has raced here before. But, it's a great way to get him a little extra schooling, get him a break out of the gate, not that overly taxing. And he ran a good third. He was only beaten ahead. This guy is so incredibly fast. I mean, he is like a machine. You almost cannot beat him to the lead if he gets out well. He's going to be hard to catch. Flying Rabbit, 1, 2, 3. He is an absolute ball of fire himself. Fire Cowboy has a lot of credentials. I'm just a little leery of Juan Diaz horses that have been training at Red Earth. Frequently they come here and they don't fire quite as much. I like Jay's on Fire. The damn A's and J's. I mention her all the time. Brilliant Oklahoma bred, $600,000 or $700,000 earner, and Jay's on Fire is really good. And Shiny Nova on the outside came from the Intermountain region, Pocatello and whatnot. He's really, really fast too. I don't know if he's quite this good, but he did make the Dash for Cash Derby. I didn't use him in the picks, but
this is going to be a quick.
That's a good one.
It's going to be a quick race.
Yeah, that's a really good race. Ninth race, another trial, second out of 4. This one's good, too, because it's got our boy Dollar Bill in there.
It does, but I got Dollar Bill picked second.
Yeah, me too.
Visa, it's hard to go against Visa, right?
It's everywhere you want to be. Wasn't that Visa's
exactly
old slogan? Yeah.
At least you didn't say "Don't leave home without it." That's the wrong card. That's American
that's the
Express,
other one.
right? But
that's
it's everywhere you want to be, and where you want to be tonight is right here for this trial. Visa, I think this is the horse that wins it. Was a runner-up in the All-American Derby last time out. Just missed by a neck in that one. Same thing in the Rainbow Derby. Both times he ran up against Dashing Trace, who beat him in both of those Grade 1 finals. But Visa, definitely a solid horse. This horse puts together a lot of wins. I'm excited to see this horse out here tonight. Give me Visa on top. Dollar Bill, that's going to be my second choice. I love Dollar Bill. I pick this horse all the time. And just always seems to not be able to get that win.
Yeah.
Always close.
If you bet him to place over his career, you'd make a lot of money.
Right.
Or you'd make your money back at least, because he's first or second 12 of 14
and I thought last time in the B.F. Phillips Stakes that Dollar Bill was going to win it, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a Jet 1, got out of the gate bad.
Right.
And I was like, Dollar Bill finally got it.
It was a remarkable performance by
back
He's a
to
Jet
tag
1
him.
to tag him. Yeah.
But, Dollar Bill, I mean, this horse, second in the Heritage Place Derby earlier this year, second in the Retama Derby, second in the B.F. Phillips Jr. Stakes. This horse was in the Texas Classic Futurity last year, was the winner of the TQHA Sales Futurity last year. A lot of respect for Dollar Bill. I mean, this horse has already won $630,000 in his career. I got the horse picked second. And then I took Jaeger, the 5, as my third choice. I mean, this horse was just beaten by half a length in the Dash for Cash Derby last time out, won the trial race to get in there, had a respectable Retama Derby and Sam Houston Derby. Really good field here for this trial.
Yeah.
I got it 6, 8, and 5.
If you just rolled out the whole Toby Keaton 3-year-old contingent, no disrespect to everybody else, you'd have a heck of a race. I mean, Jaeger, probably Keaton's second best in this race. He's like, what do I have to do? And then you got Dashing Trace in that shed row somewhere, and he's beating them all. So it's like, it's an embarrassment of riches. On to the 10th. This one, to me, was an easy call for the win. I went with the obvious favorite, Shoeless. Here's another member of the Toby Keaton barn. But it was a tough call for second because underneath who'll be a heavy favorite here, this one is pretty wide open behind the favorite.
We both got Shoeless here. Scream Machine, second choice for me. It looks like you as well. Comes in here fresh off a win. That was at 400 yards last time out. Won that race by 2 1/4 lengths, so not bad at all. Horse was in the Rainbow Derby before that, a fourth-place finisher there. I'll take Scream Machine second. And then I went with number 3, CRDMJ Policy, as my third choice. This horse had a win in a Derby trial for the Sam Houston Derby back in Houston earlier. A second, 2 starts back in a trial for the TQHA Sires Derby. Got into that one and just missed by 3/4 of a length. I got an 8.63 in race 10.
Yeah, Shoeless is just, the odds speak for themselves. He was just beating a neck, finishing third in the All-American Derby, one of the sport's greatest races, behind his stablemates, Dashing Trace and Visa. Scream Machine is a Have to Rock You, and Ali Babe Foose, who were both really, really good ones. Rock You, I think, is a grade 1. Yeah, he is a grade 1 winner. I took the High Road third. The High Road, Michael Joyner, got to watch him on nights like this. Eagle on the Fly, the dam of the High Road, made $217,000. On to the 11th, final Texas Classic Derby trial. This one features the All-American winner from last year, Cowboys Gun Z, not getting a lot of respect on the morning line at 10-1. Rick Lee has forgotten more about making morning lines than I'll ever know, so he's usually right about these things. I didn't pick him on top because I love Relentless Eagle. I tend to be a sucker for him. Plus, he's coming off such a magnificent race. But Cowboys Gun Z, he's going to be tough because he was chasing those Toby Keaton horses in the All-American Derby.
Yeah. Relentless Eagle, like you say, this horse deserves some respect here. Only 2 races so far this year, both of them coming right here. A win for the trial for the Dash for Cash Derby. Got into that one dead heated with a stablemate to win that Grade 2 event. Gotta go. That's going to be my second choice here. Another Juan Diaz horse that I like. We've seen this horse out here 3 different times. Does have a win. That was in a trial race for the Texas Classic Futurity last year. Got into the Futurity, ended up running 8th in that one, but got off slow in that one. Out of the last 3 races, this horse won his trial for the Firecracker Derby, won the Grade 3 Firecracker Derby as well. Came here, ran in a trial for the Dash for Cash, ended up 3rd in that one.
Yeah, totally missed the break in that race. Just completely fumbled the break.
But got to go. This horse can run.
Oh, yeah.
Give me this horse second. And then Cowboys Gun Z, I really didn't want to pick this horse third, but, there's some good horses in here. But Cowboys Gun Z, this year has done all right, has a second and a win, 2 starts back. Was in the All-American Derby, ended up running 7th in that one, but, that was a very tough race with some of the other horses we're going to see tonight. But I got the horse picked third.
He was 5-1 in that race, too, so people obviously thought he could contend.
Yeah, and Choices is in this race, too.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention that horse.
I didn't even use him, but, Choices Dam won the 2018 Dash for Cash Futurity, by the way. But, Gotta Go is a half to the Fiscal Cliff, who was a Grade 1 winner, and he's usually very quick, but he didn't get out well last time. But Relentless Eagle, so sharp. Okay, on to the 12th and final, as we run a little short on time. Scratch the 1, Runaway Eagle B, and scratch both of the alsos, the 11 and 12. 12th race, Colton Gelding, 2-year-olds, maidens.
And I got number 2, James Bond. This horse I picked it last time out. Ran second on me, missed by 3/4 of a length. Bumped at the break. Didn't have the best start at all in that one. But I think this horse can come back and fire once again. The 5, Hot Vibrations, my second choice. I'm looking for that improvement from start 1 to start 2. Comment says sandwiched in that race. I didn't watch it, but that doesn't sound very good when you get sandwiched in a race.
It's never a good idea to get sandwiched.
No, not at all. And then number 7, Just Shine Time. That's going to be my third choice here in the nightcap.
Yeah, Hot Vibrations is my second pick as well. Second time out, can obviously improve off of that. Stays at the 300 yards. For a trainer that wins some races up at Will Rogers, Marla Diana Vargas, as far as James Bond goes, I mean, he just towers on the E-Speed figs, which sometimes I make a little fun of here. But, I mean, he just towers on numbers. And then I used Brujo's Sweet Platinum you got to give him a mulligan. He got the blanket comment, much trouble early by the Gillespie Charter, which I like that comment. Too much to make a specific point on. It was just much trouble.
Yeah.
It's like when Larry Barnes, our great former charter here, put brutal trip. You got to summarize it sometimes. You only have so much room. So it's another opportunity for Brujo's Sweet Platinum to kind of have a debut after a really troubled trip. But James Bond, I mean, he should end the night on a formful clip. I don't mean to cost him his chances by saying that, but he's going to be a heavy favorite in that one. All right, that's it. Rodney will have his previews. Thanks for looking in tonight, and good luck on your Saturday.